Formula 1600 Canadian champion, expert road racer.
Great shot of those cars whizzing past, and all in a tight group. Bowles definitely within striking distance as they head towards that Dodge hairpin.
And Lapsevich.
Hard under braking, taking a look inside. Oh, they make contact, and around goes the 47, the 23 through the grass. Oh, and that's Peter Kloot got hard into the back of Dumoulin.
Peter Kloot out of Halton Hills, Ontario, in the legendary motorcar Chevrolet comes together with Dumoulin. And will likely bring out another caution.
Yeah, you can see the caution waving as they enter into the Dodge hairpin, but a heavy, heavy hit from the 42 of Peter Kloot, obviously with nowhere to go. And you can see that car starting to overheat, but Dumoulin, the window net's still up, so he's likely still getting his bearings inside the 47 car.
Fifth start for Dumoulin, coming off last year in Montreal. He finished 23rd. And his car owner is Marc-Andre Bergeron.
23 hard under braking, down up underneath him. The back end just gets a little loose, comes around and taps Dumoulin on the inside and spins him out. He does a real nice pirouette. The 42, the C's parted, and there was the car parked. He had no place to go.
Yeah, it was as if, though, he did see him at the last moment, maybe pull to a left because he didn't catch him directly in the back. He sort of caught that right front corner.
Steckley, very, very lucky to get through there. Of course, coming into this one, fourth in points, but he was running behind that 42 car, Peter Kloot, who made contact with the 47. Steckley ducked through the grass, and he'll be able to race on, but obviously the 42 won't.
And Marie-Ève Dauphin, the dealers of Dodge Quebec car, she's had some problems down in turn 10. So some problems here for Quebec drivers. We had 10 to start, and thankfully you can hear the applause from the crowd as Louis-Philippe Dumoulin gets out of his car. We have another caution as he acknowledges a big crowd here at Circuit Gilles Villeneuve. The NAPA Autopro 100 has been brought to you by Castrol. Visit us at ChangeYourOilChangeYourLife.com. By RX 100, eliminating mold at the source and saving lives. And by Leland Industries, quality fasteners, quality service, driven to win. We've had 4 cautions, and they've been some big ones, and for good reason. So far, it's a lot of cars are, as you say, David, going home damaged. Vic Roder along with Billy Rouse, Dave Bradley, and Todd Lewis. And end of the road racing season.
Yeah.
Put them away.
Well, you know, we didn't expect to see all these cautions for sure, but you know what? You're right. This is the last race for these race cars. We'll put them in the shop, rebuild them over the winter, and bring out the oval cars. There's the replay right there. The 47 gets tagged by the 23 when he got loose up underneath him under braking, spun him around. The C's part, and there comes the 42 of Kloot, tagged him hard. The lucky break right there was, as you said, Dave, the 22, Scott Steckley, was in the right place at the right time, not to get any damage.
Now, Robin Buck and Jason Hathaway just made it past the spinning 47 as well, but just in too deep for the 23 of Lapsevich, and there's that hit. 60 Ron Beauchamp Jr. did some steering too, way up on the outside in the grass and back on the track, but no damage to the Mopar Dodge.
Oh, stuff happens in a hurry.
So once again, Jason Bowles will get another chance at Andrew Ranger and hasn't been able to take advantage so far.
Well, Vic, I don't think we're going to see any fireworks. Young Bowles is just a true gentleman driver. I've said it a couple times, and really right now with the performance of the 27 Andrew Ranger, but the only chance he's got is to get him in over his head or maybe put the bumper to him, but I don't think you'll see the bumper come out.
And we've been talking, may lead us to a green-white checker here to finish off this race. The laps are starting to tick off, and we could be in for a little bit of fireworks here.
Well, that could change the whole attitude of these young fellows for sure. Green-white checker brings out a lot of ambition, that's for sure.
Well, look at the cars in behind. I mean, Ranger isn't full-time, neither is Bowles, but Thompson is. Does Thompson sit there, bide his time, and try to take a nice third spot and pick up all the points?
Well, I find that to be true. Don's a true veteran for sure, but he's going to put his nose in there and put some pressure on him because that pressure would put pressure on the other car. If you start pressuring the 11, he's going to start pressuring the 27, and that could force a mistake. Thompson could leave here with the win if they get into each other.
Absolutely. Looking down the running order, too, J.R. Fitzpatrick with all of this attrition towards the end of the race. He stayed on the lead lap. He got the free pass and got back on the lead lap after going one down. He sits in 22nd position. You look back, DJ Kennington, because he spent so much time on pit road, he's back in 30th, possibly can make up one, maybe two more positions, but that's about it. So J.R. Fitzpatrick, he led a lap earlier, picked up 5 bonus points, and now he's opened up a cushion, at least of positions, between him and the 17 of DJ Kennington.
So he's likely to leave Montreal extending somewhat his 16-point lead over DJ Kennington. Todd?
Exactly right. The Kennington team in the Castrol Edge pit is looking for the silver lining in the dark cloud. Yes, they had an awful day. They did finally get the fuel pump changed and the problems corrected. He's running fine now. J.R. Fitzpatrick also did have some difficulties. If he had gone on and had the strong run and finished up on the podium, or perhaps even won this race, as was legitimately in his grasp at the beginning, this day could have been a lot worse for DJ Kennington. So small saving grace for DJ and the Castrol Edge team.
Riding along with Jason Bowles, who finds himself in a familiar position here, currently in second spot, third at Beausport, second in Toronto.
You have to think he's tired of chasing that 27 car of Andrew Ranger. At Beausport, he stayed out on old tires for nearly the entire race and ended up finishing third. At Toronto, he chased the 27 across the checkered to the checkers, and now here he is chasing him once again.
I think this is a terrific story. I told you, Robin Buck is 40-something, closer to maybe pushing 50, and I remember him in his Formula Atlantic days when Jacques Villeneuve was running Atlantics, and he had some wonderful sponsorship. Here he is. He's looking to do a few more races next year if he can find the money.
Well, he's been around us for quite a while. You know, he run the GM Players Series. Just a really nice guy, and he can win. The very first year the stock cars went to the Molson Indy Toronto, he won the race.
So Robin Buck, as they make their way tippy-toeing through the accident scene, and they're getting the other car on the hook. We saw Dumoulin's car still out there. They were able to get it going again.
I have to mention, too, the 44 of Jared Wissel being awarded the free pass. There he is sitting in front of the leader, the native of Calgary, Alberta, and the Komatsu Ford. He had a great run going at Toronto, and here he was hoping for big things. Definitely a road course ace, you could call him, and he was hoping to come out of here with a great finish.
Want to remind everybody the Craft Celebration Tour concludes tonight in New Westminster, BC, as Sports Centre wraps up its tour of 10 Canadian cities in 10 days. Catch it live beginning at 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 Pacific, the Craft Celebration Tour.
Well, green-white checker coming to us, fellas. This is going to get exciting. You know, as we said earlier, the two guys up front really aren't that aggressive towards one another, but bragging rights is all that's on the line. That's all that's here. There's no points for either one of them. Just bragging rights.
We talked about the troubles of the 0-2 of Kerry Mix earlier on in this race. He dropped to the end of the order. He's back up just outside the top 10, sitting in 11. So this could prove to be a big points day for the Dickies Ford.
So the lights continue on the pace car, means they'll go one more leading to that green-white checkered flag, and 2 laps of racing that Billy was referring to. Why not be? Look at, you're here, you want to win, you're learning. Why doesn't he go after him?
Well, in the old day, you know, they did. You know, Robin was racing, and they would bring the bumper out because prestige is winning. You know, if you're not first, you're last. That's what they say. But as we ride on board with the racingwithrusty.com Dodge, this guy is a class act. He's moving on to trucks, as I said. That'll be announced earlier next week. One of my friends told me that in the pit area earlier. And he's not going to ruffle the feathers. He wants to move his career on, known as a clean driver.
Yeah, as we mentioned off the top of the show, the nationwide teams are starting to prepare their pit areas for their race, which comes up a little bit later on this afternoon. So they're starting to watch this race and go, wow, is that Canadian Tire Series race still on? And hey, how are those American guys doing? And looking towards the 11 car of Jason Bowles.
Well, there are lots of nationwide people out watching the practice and qualifying. And in that nationwide race that you'll see on TSN coming up later today, of course, there's a lot of Canadian content in there.
Yeah, there is 4 drivers attempted to qualify who run in the NASCAR Canadian Tire Series. J.R. Fitzpatrick, DJ Kennington, and Andrew Ranger, of course. Pierre Bourque, unfortunately, failed to qualify, but then you throw in Jacques Villeneuve and Patrick Carpentier and Ron Fellows, who are also running. So definitely a lot of Canadian content coming up in the Nationwide Series.